Wildcard Weekend is where legacies get tested and excuses go to die. You don't get style points. You don't get we'll fix it next week. You either survive or you're packing up the lockers by Monday. Tonight, we're going to hit a few of these marquee matchups before we deep dive into the Bears and Packers, because this one, for the third time in a month, it hits a little bit different. Welcome to the Benchwarmers, the sports podcast where the takes are fire, the laughs are loud, and the stats, well, let's just say they're debatable. Bishop, Pops, Marlon, and Jason are calling it the way they see it, straight from the fans' perspective. Grab a seat, join the bench. It's game time. Fellas, y'all good? What's happening?
It's all good.
What's going on?
Yes, sir. Man, everything is everything, man. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and everything in between. I hope everything was good for y'all during the holiday season, as well as for you guys in the bench mob. So before we go ahead and get this thing started off, y'all already know what we got to do. Marlo, what you got?
Air.
Man.
Okay.
Hey, I get it, man. No worries. Pop, what you got?
I got vodka and pineapple juice.
All right, well, that works. And Marlon, I'll take a double of the Jim Beam just for you, man, so we can make it happen. All right, Pop, me and you, man. Salute.
Salud.
Oh, that is, man, that's hot. All right, so look, before we get into the Bears, let's talk about a couple of these other wild card matchups. Let's first talk about the Steelers and the Texans. This one is just going to be warfare, period. We got old man Rodgers coming out to do his thing against the young boy C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans, who's been hot. Man, so what y'all think about this game? Is does Rodgers still got some more left in the tank? Or, are they about to put out and go ahead and let the Texans do this thing? What y'all think about this one?
I think this is the end for your boy, old man Rodgers. I really like the way Houston's been playing as of late. D'Amico Ryans has those boys really firing on all cylinders. And somewhat surprisingly, after last year, CJ had kind of the sophomore season slump, but he seems to have turned it around. The defense is clicking. I really like what they're doing, and Pittsburgh is playing solid football. I just feel like this is the end of the road, and Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old. I think the Father Time will show his head this weekend.
What you think, Pop?
Well, I think that Pittsburgh is going to win this game. Unlike my son Marlon, I think Aaron Rodgers still has what he needs in the tank. I think that Pittsburgh is blessed with one of the best coaches in the history of football in Mike Tomlin, a guy who just wins year after year after year. They've got a lot of nice pieces around Aaron. So I'm going with the Steelers.
And Tomlin, if I'm correct, has never had a losing season, has he?
No, sir.
Yeah, so, man, listen, those guys just know how to win. I think Houston is still young. And we're going to get into this a little bit later, but I'm with you, Pop. I can't believe I'm backing up a Rodgers team, but I think old man pulls it out on this one. Now, this might be the only one. This might be the one and done for the postseason for him. But I think this is the one where he shows that, hey, I'm Aaron Rodgers. I still got it. And I think he gonna do what he got to do.
And let me just say something real quick, man. Got to shout out the Pittsburgh Steelers and also the Baltimore Ravens, even though they just fired John Harbaugh.
Yeah,
the Ravens have only
which was surprising.
Yeah, it was. But I mean, I guess they feel like he is the man to get them over the hump. They've only had 3 head coaches in their franchise's history, and Pittsburgh the same.
Didn't the Bears have that many last year?
I believe they did. I'm pretty sure they did, and that's why you got to show some love to those types of organizations, man. They find the right guy, they put their trust in him, and he takes them where they want to be every year in and year out.
Yeah. Now you brought up Baltimore. They're not on our radar to talk about tonight, but we can do a little segue because you brought it up. First of all, the Harbaugh firing was wild. I wasn't expecting that because coach has been doing this thing, and I think he coaches those boys well. I think it's a Lamar issue. Lamar's out there. He's the captain of the team. He's running the field when they're out there. Coaches can only do so much. They go call the plays, and after that, it's up to the players to execute. And it just seems like every year Lamar gets them right there, and then they just drop off. So I don't think it was a Harbaugh problem. I was thinking it's time to move on from Lamar, but I guess they got other plans.
I mean, you got a missed field goal that that misses the playoffs this year.
Ooh, that was ugly.
You
That
got a
hurt.
drop touchdown 2 years ago that gets them eliminated from the playoffs. And it was something last year, I can't remember exactly what it was, where it's one play here and there that's not on Lamar. And then I remember again 3 years ago where they decided to act like Lamar Jackson was Tom Brady and threw the ball 45 times in the playoff
Yeah, I
game.
remember that. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a lot of things. I think Harbaugh had a lot to do with it. I think Lamar has a lot to do with it. The organization as a whole just couldn't get over the hump. I don't think you could really put the blame on one person in particular, but as a collective, they just couldn't get the job done. And, somebody's head is going to roll. And you paying
And
Lamar 20, 30, 40 million a year.
that's a lot
So
of
it ain't going
money.
to be
Yeah.
his.
And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. This group just wasn't able to get it done. It's probably, like Marlon said, a combination of a lot of things. But one thing that we know, we don't have to guess, they didn't get it done. And
Yeah.
so going in a new direction, probably makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so hey, big ups to Baltimore, and like you said, Marlo, 3 coaches in your entire existence. That's huge. It's sort of like, I hate to say it, but with Green Bay and their quarterback situation, man, just how they just continuously bring up good quarterbacks right up under the other. And they don't go through the carousel of starting quarterbacks. They got their starting quarterback for 10 years and they already know who's coming behind them, and man, it's just some people just know how to do it like that. But I ain't gonna praise Green Bay too much longer. So let's move on. 49ers and the Eagles. Man, it's gonna be a physical game. They've got elite playmakers on both sides. The defense on both sides is good. Do the Eagles show who they are and come back from a somewhat bad season and come back and show why they're the champs?
I'm gonna go with the Eagles. Quite frankly, I think it's a toss-up. I think the odds will probably be 1 or 2 points, and it is a toss-up. But the Eagles have been there. They've got a lot to prove. 49ers are playing good ball. They beat us, and they're capable, I think, of winning any game. In fact, I'm going to say something that may sound a little odd. I think every team in the playoffs has the possibility of winning the Super Bowl. I don't know when
Yeah.
the last time I was able to say that. That is how even the things seem to be. But that being said, I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, Marlo, what you got?
Yeah, I just really like the way San Francisco's been playing. They had the slip up this past week and what was an amazing game, top to bottom. They obviously showed what they can do offensively against us. And Brock Purdy is playing good ball. I'm not sure if Trent Williams is going to be back. And I think that'll be big, especially considering the talent that's on this Philadelphia defensive front.
Yeah.
So I think that could be huge if Trent Williams is not playing. But like I said, I really like what San Fran is doing right now. Like I said, Brock Purdy is playing really good ball. The defense has stepped up. They kind of gave up a bunch of points against us, which I'm not sure how they did that. That's the most points we scored all year. But yeah, I really like their chances to go into the link and get it done. Like you said, Philly, while they've had a solid record, they're 11-6. It just hasn't
It's been
felt like
ugly. Yeah, it's been
exactly.
an ugly 11-6.
It hasn't felt like defending champion football.
Yeah.
And I feel like that could present a problem this weekend. And I'm going with San Fran on the road.
Man, Brock Purdy goes from Mr. Irrelevant to, man, playing some of the best ball for the last few years, man. So big ups to San Fran, and talking about our game, for the first half, I'm like, man, San Fran just gonna blow us out. And man, for us to come back and do what we did against San Fran, it really kind of sparked something in me. Even though we lost the game, that second half showed what a football team that we could really be. And so I hope we bring that game in. I hope we bring that same game in this week, because we got a big one. We're going to get into that in just a minute. One last game, let's talk about it a little bit. The Chargers and the Patriots. The Chargers got a high ceiling on their offense. Once they get into a rhythm, they can be a real problem. But the Patriots, man, are winning good football games. Young team doing their thing, following the coaching, and it's looking like they're doing some good business this game. Like Pop said, I mean, each game in this series, in this whole wild card, and I think in this whole playoff series period, is going to be a 50-50 game. There's no team out there that is just super dominant like that. So about this game, what y'all think about this one?
I think the Patriots are rolling, man. Drake May is playing really, really good football for a second-year quarterback.
Yeah.
I definitely don't want him over Caleb. I love what we have, but he seems to be the perfect fit for what they're doing up there in New England. Mike Vrabel has them boys believing. He brought back the Patriot way. As somebody that's been there, done that, won multiple championships with that organization. He just got him playing ball. The West Coast team coming east. Now it's a late game, so I don't think that'll affect them too much. I just think the real problem is going to be the New England Patriots. And then something that we need to think about too is the weather. I'm not sure what the weather is going to be like in New England this weekend, but obviously you got a team coming from San Diego playing January football on the Northeast. In the Northeast, I think that could present a problem itself.
I agree with what Marlon is saying. Weather could certainly be a factor. We'll see. The Patriots are rolling, man. They're one of 3 or 4 teams in the NFL this year, Bears being one of them, who have just surprised the hell out of everybody. I didn't see this coming with the New England Patriots, but clearly they have an organization that knows how to win. When Tom Brady left, that kind of subsided for a bit, but they got right back up on the horse and started riding again. And, this young boy quarterback, he ain't afraid of nothing or nobody. And so I'm going to go with him. But again, I think it's a 50-50 game.
Yeah, so I'm looking now. The weather's going to be in the high 30s, low 40s. So actually not too bad.
Solid game.
Yeah, that's
football
not too
weather.
bad of a football game. That's great football weather. So I don't think weather's gonna play that much of a part of it. But man, I think it'll be a great game. I think we're gonna be in for a good slate of games this whole weekend. I think we're gonna be in for some good stuff. So here, let's talk about it. What you about to say, Marlo?
I got to do some push-ups or something, man. I said the Chargers was coming from San Diego. They're not coming from San Diego
Nah,
no
not from
more.
San Diego. No.
They're not
Hey,
coming
you know
from San
what?
Diego no more.
We let that slide.
Yeah.
But yes, you are right. They are not. So we'll get your push-ups. You can put them up on the Facebook group and let everybody see
Right.
what you got to do for that. So look, let's talk about this. Saturday, January 10th, 2026. This ain't just a playoff game. This is like history. This is the Super Bowl to kick off the playoff series for us. This is a huge game. I mean, for the third time now in 1 month, we're about to see this team again. Let's talk about this first. Let's talk about the offense. Obviously, everything is going to start with Caleb, and then everything has to evolve from there. What do we have to do offensively to win this game?
I think we have to establish a running game, keeps the Packers off of the field, and keeps drives going. I think we need 70 plays in the game to have a chance to win. If we're under 70, we lose the game, I think. There are so many things that we have to do, Mark. The Bears are a very unpredictable team this year. But in the midst of that, we've won 11 games. We can beat anybody. The problem is, I think we can lose to anybody. It really depends on the week. It depends on how everybody's feeling, what kind of decisions Ben Johnson is making. I'm not confident at all that the Bears are going to win this week. Man, I'm having nightmares. In fact, I think I'll have a drink.
Right, you might as well get started early, man, because you're going to need it.
Yeah, so Marcus, you said that it stems from Caleb. And I gotta agree with Pop. I think everything comes from the run game. If Caleb throws and completes it at a 60 to 63% rate, I think if we throw in the ball under 30 times, I think we have a really good chance. We have to pound the rock, in my opinion. And I don't believe that we've established a run game in either of the first 2 Packers games. And I think that's what's had us behind the 8 ball in both of those games, having to try to come back in the end. One of them we fell a little bit short. One, obviously, we got a memorable play from Caleb and DJ that'll live on in Bears history forever. But we're behind in both of those games. We're playing catch up, and I think it comes from us not fully establishing the run game. I think Ben is going to really have to. Okay, this is going to sound weird. I think Ben's got to check himself in some regard. He has to try to run the ball. You can't try to go out there and beat Matt LaFleur. And I think that's what he's tried to do in both of these games. Now, on the flip side of that same token, we're going to get the most aggressive Ben Johnson we've seen all year. You know, it's all on the line now. There is no tomorrow. So when you see that clip when the camera caught him saying I should have gone for it,
Right, yeah.
he will go for it this week. I think it's no question that. So Pop, get your hyperventilation bag ready because it's happening this week. And I
Because
think
fourth
that
and three in, he going.
Well,
hey,
Ben,
I'm thinking 4th and 5. Like for real. And I just feel like that he's going to come out guns blazing and really, I hope at least, really try to put their foot on the throats of the Green Bay Packers at Soldier Field.
well, Marcus, one of the things that I'm afraid of this week is that Ben Johnson in a close game could lose the game for us with his decision making. But clearly, he could also win. But Ben is a cowboy. He's a gunslinger. I don't know if it's ego or if it's metrics or if it's strategy, but Ben does some stuff at a frequent pace that makes my hair itch, as you know. And
Yeah.
I could see Ben being responsible for us losing a close game. Now, having said that, we're talking about the offense. I am extremely upset at our lack of use of DJ Moore. This is a guy who on just about any team would be a #1 receiver. I think he had 2 or 3 targets last week. That is unconscionable. There is no excuse for that. And unfortunately, he is the type of guy, and I actually understand it, by the way, that if you disrespect him too long, you'll see the impact of that in his energy and in his effort. And here's a guy who has proven, I think the first year that he came to the Bears, guess how many catches he had? 98, I believe it was. Guess
Yeah, it
how
was a lot.
many? Guess how many he's had last year? I think it was 56. His role is diminishing, and he has even less this year. Look, man, we've got him. Why don't we use him? You know, initially we thought it was because of Rome Odunze. Well, Rome's been out for 4 or 5 weeks, and we still have not made DJ #1. Another problem, Colston Loveland has been playing ball. That's such a
Yeah.
problem that we have forgotten about Cole Kmet. We have
Yeah.
all of this talent, but an inability to distribute the ball in a way that keeps the defense guessing. And that's a problem. The defense doesn't guess much with us. You want a defense guessing at what you're doing. And Ben Johnson, for whatever reason, has not made that happen.
Yeah. And you know, and like you said, the problem that we have is we're a little too explosive. I mean, we got playmakers on pretty much on every piece of the field, which I gotta believe is sometimes overwhelming for a quarterback, which you would think it would make the game a little bit easier. But when you're thinking about, all of these different egos and all of these different, people that you got to get involved into the game, sometimes you just check down and get to what's comfortable at that point because even the comfortable one is going to be able to bring you through. So, and we got Roma Dunze coming back. So it's going to even be a little bit harder, I think, for Caleb to get DJ into this game, which is, it's crazy to say it, but we've got so many options and so many places to go to that, I think if you're a player that can't get into the mindset of, I don't have to touch the ball all the time, I just want to help my team win, I think you're going to have a hard time on this team.
I think
But if you can get your
I'm sorry.
But if you can get your mindset to that and accept that, like, hey, everybody's got to go get it, and so I just got to be ready when it comes my way, I think it causes a lot less frustration.
I don't think that is the mindset of any #1 receiver in the NFL or any team that, hey, look, if it comes to me, cool. If it doesn't, I'll just play my game. These guys got big egos, man, and big heads. And for DJ to have the lack of targets that he's had this year, I can imagine that he is really pissed off and really probably, looking for a way to get out of the Bears. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, let him go. Well, you know what? We've done that so many times. Let some great players go. And what do we get in return for? Just to be the ability to say, hey, he wasn't into it, so we let him go. No, that's bad management, man. If I were Ben Johnson, I would tell Caleb, If DJ is not targeted between 8 and 10 times, that is your fault. That is on you. If you're going to look for a read, look for him. Now you're going to find other people, but make DJ your first option. Long and short of it, they need to get DJ's head back in the bear instead of out of.
I disagree 1,000%.
I know you did.
If you ain't trying to play ball, go to hell. Because we got ball players. DJ has been the number one receiver and a hell of a receiver in this league on very, very bad football teams. Starting in Carolina, where they never had a winning season while he was there, and he had over 1,000 yards and almost 100 receptions every year. Comes to Chicago, an absolutely terrible team again. He's the only receiver we got. We tried to trade for the boy from Pittsburgh. I can't remember. Oh, Chase Claypool. We tried to trade for him to give him somebody else to kind of play off of. That doesn't work. So now DJ is the only option again. Gets 98 balls again. But now we have a plethora of weapons. And while DJ is a very, very good receiver, I can't say that he's a better receiver than Rome Odunze at this point because his effort doesn't show that he's a better receiver play in and play out than Rome Odunze. If you think about the interception that Caleb threw last week, DJ doesn't even try.
He made no play at the ball.
He doesn't even try to make a play on the ball. And to me, that's unacceptable. I, again, disagree with force feeding them the ball. We have a receiving core that the parity in that room is palpable. And looking at the stats here, Colson and DJ led the team in receptions with 50 apiece. And Luther had 47. And Rome missed a bunch of games. We all know he would have been the number one if he hadn't missed 6 weeks, I think it's been now. To have three receivers within 3 receptions of each other, Caleb's finding the man that's open. And I cannot be mad at that in any way, shape, form, or fashion. You find the man that's open and you deliver the ball. If DJ wants the ball, go get open. I think his separation has been an issue for a couple of years. And, you say, why would we get rid of him? Well, because he's making 29 for 50 catches. That's a big thing for me. When again, we have a lot of holes that we still do need to fill, even though we had 11 wins this year. We know we've got holes. We have no cap room next year. So there's a number of reasons why you would get rid of a guy like DJ. Personally, I would get rid of him before I would get rid of a guy like Cole, whose role is also fallen a little bit since we've drafted Colston Loveland, but comes to play every single week.
Game, every snap.
The blocking is there every single time. If he needs to make a catch and the ball is coming his way, he's making it. I'm not seeing drops when the ball does come his way. And again, the blocking has just been next level from the tight end position. So I feel like if it comes to a position, which I do think it will this offseason, where we have to choose one of, which direction are we going to go because we need some money. I think it's going to be DJ, and I think that's going to be the right decision. You'll still have a solid 1-2 punch with Rome and Luther, and you'll have your 2 tight ends, hopefully still with Cole and Colston, and we'll find a third slot receiver and make it work from there. I think that DJ is a really good football player. I think that when you're winning games, if it's you that has to take the back seat, you just got to take that back seat. This is the first winning season DJ's had in his career with 50 wins.
College included, right?
DJ hasn't
college included.
He hasn't had a winning season since high school.
Yeah.
With 50 catches. I'll take playoffs and 50 catches over 98 catches and 4 wins. That's me.
I mean, those are good points. I can't argue with any of them. I looked at and I think, what is the lack of use of DJ too? What does that do on the free agent market when players from free agency look and see that, hey man, they treated one of their best players in a very disrespectful fashion, I think. And the Chicago Bulls have paid a price for that for years. And so the idea that doesn't matter, it really does. When stars have a choice of where to go, a lot of times management, treatment of players, and treatment of senior players has a real impact if it's a close decision. So we'll see.
It's funny to me that you brought up the Bulls because as soon as I stopped talking, I started thinking about the Bulls and your boy, Zach LaVine, man. That's the feeling that I'm getting. on a very bad team, oh, this dude looks like the best thing since sliced bread. Zach LaVine will get you 35 to 40 a night, and we win in 38 games a year. And I think it's the same in this situation, and I don't know that they've treated him, disrespectfully. Granted, Rome's been out, but he leads the league. He leads the team in receptions. So they are looking for him. It's just not at the rate in which they looked for him when he was the only thing that we had going outside of Cole Kmet. And so I'm starting to feel like he's Zach LaVine, and I hope that he's not, where it's you can get all the numbers in the world, but can't make an impact on winning. And now, luckily, this year we've got a winning season, and DJ has played a part in that, but his role has been diminished since he got to the Bears.
I think the difference between the Bulls analogy is that there were probably only 2 or 3 good players on the Bulls, and so they couldn't win, not because of that. They couldn't win because of their coach, who's terrible, Billy Donovan, and because they had a lack of talent. With the Bears, it's really the complete opposite. They've got an abundance of talent. And maybe that does answer for why there's more of an equal distribution of the ball. But in the overall scheme of things, I just don't think you can have DJ in a game like last week only be targeted twice or 3 times if it was 3 times. I don't understand that.
Well, I think this week is a different week. I think we will lean on DJ a little bit more this week, but we can't lean on him just for the sake of leaning on him. This has to be an efficient game. This has to be a game where you make good decisions. And if DJ is not the good decision, he just ain't the good decision. And so there's been times where we've been down late and DJ has absolutely been the guy that we look to and we've gone to him. Especially since Roman's been gone. With the stats that Marlon just read off, if we're treating him disrespectful, every player in this league deserves to be a star. And so if we're treating him disrespectful, we'll be treating everybody else disrespectful because they're all right there. They've all been contributing. So what I need from DJ, at least for these next 5 weeks, is to have your head in the game. Play for the team, not for you. Play for the Bears and just do what you have to do to help this team win. Whether it's throwing a block, whether it's being a decoy, whether it's, coming on the end around, whatever it is that you're called on to do this game, DJ Moore, I need you to do it this game.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, and that's just all to it. We don't need flash. We need just efficient football on this offensive side. So that being said, with this offense, before we move on, what's the most important piece of this offense this week? Is it Caleb?
It's Caleb.
Is it DJ?
It's always
Is it Swift?
Caleb.
Who is
it's
it?
always Caleb. Listen, man, Caleb Williams has next level skills. He has next level potential. And some of the throws he makes, there's not many other quarterbacks in the history of the NFL who could make them. But at the same time, he can also be a Dr. Jekyll and a Mr. Hyde. He will miss receivers that you can't even explain why he missed them. This thing that he's got with holding on to the ball, it's gotten a little bit better. But the poor offensive line, how long can you expect the offensive line to hold the defense off? You can't ask them to do that for 6 or 7 seconds.
Yeah.
There was a play last week, I counted. Caleb held the ball for 9 seconds. You can't do that. And so I think Caleb believes that he can make a play on every play. And probably 7 out of 10 of them he can. On a good day, 8 out of 10. There's going to be a couple that he's not going to be able to make. And he's got to do a better job at understanding when it's that time. He's got to have a better field awareness, a better timing awareness. How long do I have? Look, I've already held the ball 5 seconds. Maybe I ought to just throw it out of bounds, even though I don't see anybody behind me. I guarantee you they're behind me. And so I think Marcus Caleb is the key to victory or defeat.
Yeah,
and number two, the second guy is Ben Johnson.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, I definitely think that Caleb is the key. And it's not that we need him to have an amazing game. We need him to make the 5 to 6 plays that we need him to make when he needs to make. If Ben is on top of his game, he'll have us in positions and 3rd and shorts to where, like I said, You don't need Caleb to be a game changer. We need him to be the best game manager that he can be. And if he can do that, if we can take the ball away, and I know we're going to get to the defense in a second, and establish this two-headed monster in DeAndre Swift and Cal Monaghan, let that offensive line get rolling downhill instead of going backwards in pass protection. I think that we have an excellent chance to give these boys that fifth loss in a row and send them back to Green Bay. But like Pop said, I think it does all rely on Caleb, even though I don't think that he'll be the biggest part of the game plan. I think those moments where you need him to step up, he'll have to step up because those are the moments where Jordan Love steps up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jordan Love isn't Patrick Mahomes. He's not winning games for you more often than not. He's winning moments that lead to you winning games. And I think that's what we need Caleb to do as well.
Yeah, so I am 100% on board with that. I definitely think we need to get that run game going. I just saw something earlier today where a Packers beat writer or, a Packers sports commentator was saying that if the Bears can get this run game going on the Packers, he's very scared. He's very worried that the Packers will lose this game. I think you guys are absolutely right. I think we need to get that two-headed monster of Swift and Monangai going early. From play one, just ram it down their throat. We need that offensive line to push like they have never pushed before. Open up some holes and get them some room to get through, which will then open up some room for Caleb. The biggest thing that we need Caleb to do this week is to stay out of love with the rollout. He just, the pocket is like his worst enemy at times. Whereas if he just stayed right there, he could see a little bit more and he could be a little bit controlled. But Caleb likes to roll out and get to doing the fancy stuff. Caleb, make it simple for you. Do the old kiss analogy. Keep it simple. And I think we win this game like that. Going over to the defensive side. We've had a killer defense all year. Of course, there's been times where, we get burned on a play, which we get 2 or 3 of those every game, which has just become standard. So you come to expect that. But for the most part, we're getting takeaways. I think Bynard was the season leader in interceptions. I know it's one of them with interceptions. He got 7 interceptions for the year. We're getting forced fumbles. We're doing everything that we need to do on defense, except for those plays where they just find us just lost at times. It's like there's plays where the defense just like draws a blank and just leaves the middle of the field open and they're wide open. They can just do whatever they want to do. So defensively, to win this game, what do the Bears have to do? How do they need to show up to win this game on the defense?
I think it starts with stopping Josh Jacobs. Especially in the first game, he really did a number on us. And that running game, again, just like for us, it's no different. It's football. That running game opens up the passing game a lot. And while he's not the best receiver out of the backfield, he's solid enough. I feel like we have to stop Josh Jacobs. Hopefully Kyler is back. I know they opened up his practice window. I think that he would make a big difference in our secondary. We have a lot of in-cutting routes that are wide open. Kyler has missed a large portion of this season. And I think that we paid for that. Our defense, it isn't great, man. We are opportunistic. I will say that. We will take the ball away at the drop of a hat. But teams rarely punt against us. They rarely punt. They go between the 20s with relative ease. That our red zone defense is very efficient. We really buckle down when we get in the red zone. And I'm sure teams have a very low red zone conversion percentage against us. But like I said, between the 20s, man, it's bad. And I'm hoping that the addition of Kyler, if he is able to play, you need a big game from Tremaine Edmonds. You need a big game from TJ Edwards. Everybody is going to have to step up. And the corners, man, Jalen, Deshaun Wright, Tyreek Stevenson, if he gets in, I don't know if CJ Gardner-Johnson is going to play. He had an injury the other day that didn't look great.
Yeah, look like he's still out.
He is out. Okay.
Looks like he is, yeah.
The corners, man, they have to step up. You have to give the defensive line some time to try to get some pressure on the quarterback. And we just haven't been doing that, and it's showed. And so with no pass rush, with bad coverage in the secondary, it's bad, and it could be a long day for us, man. I really hope that Dennis Allen, and more than Dennis Allen, man, just the heart of the players on that defense, makes them step up and really, put it on the table. I'll leave it at that.
I think what we've seen from the defense all year is heart. These boys play with heart. I couldn't agree with Marlon more. I actually think we have a weak defense. But having said that, we don't give up many points. Now, I know that that's a total upside down comment. How could you have such a bad defense but not give up a ton of points? And it's because of the opportunistic mentality of the Bears. Where would we be if we didn't have all of these takeaways this year? How many
Yeah.
more scores would have been against us? And
Yeah.
so, what we're very good at is taking the ball away. What we're not very good at is stopping the other play, whether it's a run, whether it's a pass. Teams pass on us like we're a high school team.
They do.
Now, once they catch the ball, we may punch it out and take it. And that has saved us game after game after game. I think anyone who makes the mistake of thinking because the Bears have held teams to low point totals, that must mean that we're a great defense. They are, in my humble opinion, they are totally wrong. They're an opportunistic defense. I got to give Dennis Allen a whole lot of credit because he's not working with a bunch of five-star players. Yet,
Yeah.
effectively, he is managing the game on the defense. I mean, look at last week. If you didn't see the score, you would have thought Detroit had 50 points again. What did they end up with, 20 or 21? 18?
Yeah, 18,
but
yeah,
you
I
would
think,
have
yeah.
thought that they had 50. But Dennis Allen is doing some stuff. Add that on to the fact that every one of the players on the defense, whether they're great or not, they play to win. They play with the belief that they are standing in between victory and defeat and that they want to make their presence heard. So I think we'll see that again this week. But I think we'll see the other stuff too, Marcus. I think we'll see some long passes against it. I think we'll see some unexplainable runs up the middle 2 or 3 times in a row that each may go for 8 to 12 yards. And wow, that means that the offense has to win the game. So we'll see.
Yeah, so the offense is definitely going to have to put up some points. But for me on the defensive side, it starts with Montez Sweat and those boys on that front line. Whereas we say Caleb is forcing 8 to 9 seconds, we're giving 8 to 9 seconds easy. Our defensive line does not worry a single quarterback in the league. It's like we're rushing 2 and it just sucks. The defensive line penetration is terrible. And so what I think is going to win this game defensively is going to start up front. We've got to make Jordan Love uncomfortable. We've got to make him rush some passes. These quarterbacks are getting these long passes because they have forever to look down the field. The receivers have forever to make 4 or 5 different cuts to make somebody slip, fall, do something. So that, for me, that D-line has to step up and step up big time. We put some work into that D-line. If we ain't touched nothing else on that D, we put in a little work on that D-line. And if this is what we got to show for it, it's a lot more work that needs to be done.
Yes, for me, the question is the D-line capable of doing much more than they've done? You've got Sweat, who's getting double teamed regularly.
Yeah.
You've got Dexter on the other side.
Yeah.
What's the other defensive end's name?
It was a Dangbo, but he got hurt.
No, not him.
So
Lights.
Austin Booker. Austin Booker.
Booker, as undersized as he is, I think he plays an adequate game of football. But in the interior, what's number 98?
That's Jervon.
No, that's Jervon
Sorry,
and
not
Grady
98. Billings. Is he 95? 97. Billings can get 2 steps, and then he's tired. So after the initial block, he needs oxygen.
What was our boy a few years ago that was like that?
Akeem Hicks.
Yeah, Jason Boy.
Who has been who may have a Hall of Fame career, but those last couple of years were. This dude Billings, what does he weigh? 400 pounds? I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but probably not by much.
Not much, though. Yeah.
So he's incapable of penetrating. The only way he could penetrate is if the offensive line on the other side just laid down and did one of those choreography dances, and he might get in there. And
Right, maybe.
so I'm just not sure that we are built to be a team that pressures a quarterback. So how do you compensate for a defensive line that's kind of lacking in that ability? Well, you got to take some chances. You got to blitz. You got to run packages with they're bringing people in from the backcourt to try to put some pressure on the quarterback. If it doesn't work, you're going to get eaten alive.
Well,
So
that's what's been happening the last couple of weeks. We've been blitzing, which forces us to play man, which forces us to get ate up.
yeah, so I guess the point that I'm making is I'm not sure that we are capable of stepping up. We may be doing as well as we can do. The boys play with heart. They don't give up. I just think that there's a lack of talent. And I will add that you got people like Jalen Johnson and others coming back off of injury. These guys are not 100%.
They're not. They're just trying to play.
Yeah, they are trying to play, but it may have been better if a couple of those guys had just set out and came in periodically in the game to give the guy who replaced them a breather. But the idea of trying to force those guys back in as a starter, you clearly see Johnson has not played the kind of ball that we know he's capable of.
Yeah.
Kyler Gordon coming back this week. Yeah, I'd love to see him come back. We need all the depth that we can. But can I hope that he is going to be at midseason form coming off of this injury? I just don't see it.
Two things real quick. To me, the biggest disappointment on the defense has been Javon Dexter. We drafted him high in the draft a couple of years back. We were looking for him to do big things. We get him some help and some mentorship with Grady Jarrett right next to him, and his name is just never called this year. And I was really looking forward to him having a huge year and breaking out. And that's just not happening. And then, like Pop said, we definitely have a lot of injuries. And I've said this to Pop, and I don't know if I ever brought this up on the show. One of the only, I want to say the only holdover from the last regime to this one is the strength and conditioning staff. And I believe that Coach Johnson also believes that has a lot to do with these soft tissue injuries that we've been plagued with all year. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a complete overhaul of our strength and conditioning staff this offseason. And hopefully we're not running into these same soft tissue injuries. Breaks happen, fractures happen. You get an Achilles here and there. But growings, hamstrings, calves, those things, man, those shouldn't happen on as frequently as they've been happening with our defense. And I think that's something, while it goes overlooked in a lot of conversations, I think it's something that has to be and will be addressed this offseason.
So
Now, before you go, Pop, let me just say this real quick. How many of y'all have heard somebody talking about the strength and conditioning team? Boy, that's why y'all need to watch the bench warmers.
That's the all-knowing, man.
Man, we go deep. We go deep. Man, I'm sorry, Pop. I just had to get that out. I was like bubbling with that one. Man, Marlo, that's why you who you are. Go ahead, Pop.
So your second defensive end, you got two of them. One is best and one is the other guy on all teams.
Yeah.
How many sacks would you expect the second guy to get during the course of the year to feel good about it?
6,
5. Yeah, I was going to say 5, 6.
How many do you think Dexter's got?
1 or 2, maybe.
I don't know, but I would say Booker is that second rusher, but I think he's got a few.
He's got 6.
Okay.
He's got 6. So he is the second guy. He's not going to look like Montez Sweat. If you look at his numbers, they're really not that bad for your second defensive end. And so I agree with you. I mean, we'd like to get more out of, but I think the game that he's playing is an average game. Maybe we need above average.
Yeah.
But he's playing an average game, and he may be hard to replace with somebody next year with the salary cap issues that we have.
I think we're talking about two different people. You're talking about Austin Booker, 94, defensive end. I'm talking about Javon Dexter, the tackle, 98.
Javon Dexter. So let me tell you, Javon Dexter had a sack against Detroit last week. He had a sack against Cleveland. That's 2. He had a half a sack against the Giants. That's 2.5. He had a sack against Baltimore, 3.5. He had 1.5 sacks against Washington. That's 5. And he had a sack against Minnesota. That's 6.
So Javon Dexter has 6 sacks on the year.
I don't
Yeah.
remember hearing that man's name.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
they're
even-
quiet.
Mm.
He apparently doesn't pick the people up and throw them 10 yards. But yeah, he's got 6 sacks.
I feel like
Nice.
I've only
Okay.
heard his name those 6 times.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But the point that I am making is that he's probably more adequate and more normal than we think he is.
Then we're giving him credit for it.
What about Grady Jarrett? I mean, we paid him all of that money. Are we happy with him?
No,
I am not happy with
no.
what we're getting out of Grady Jarrett. And he's older, so I didn't anticipate him being, the Grady Jarrett of old.
Yeah.
Pat, the designer, said something to start the season. Said, if we can get 100% of Grady Jarrett 40% of the time, we'll be all right. Now, we have not gotten that 40% of the time. And it's disheartening because I
Yeah.
really like Grady Jarrett. I think more so than his production on the field, he's been a major leader in the locker room for this defense. But we need productivity between the lines too.
How many sacks would you guess Grady Jarrett had?
I think I'm going to go with 4.
How about 1.5
Really?
for the whole year?
Now, when
One
you
and a half.
said when you asked the first
How many
when you
forced
asked the first
fumbles?
time,
How many
I
times
think
did
he's
he
got at
force a
least
fumble?
one. I think he's got
Zero.
at least one.
None.
None.
Those are the 2 positions I believe are hurting us. It's the interior of that defensive line,
Mhm.
which allows other teams to have the luxury of double teaming, sometimes triple teaming Swift, because they're not worried about Big Boy getting in there because they know he's
Yeah.
going to be tired after he takes 4 steps.
He's just a hole plugger. That's
Yeah,
it.
now, Billings is a run stuffer.
Yeah.
I think for penetration up the middle, you're looking towards Dexter and Grady Jarrett.
Okay.
And really Javon. But yeah, I go into every week anticipating that the opposing quarterback is going to complete 70% of his passes. Just because
And
he has
you're
all
just
that.
about right. Yeah.
Yeah,
How
because he got
how
all
many
that.
how many sacks you think Billings had?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's none. Yeah.
He had 1. So think about that. Our 2 interior linemen have a total between them of 2.5 sacks.
Yeah, that'll never do it.
Wow.
That'll never do it. That'll never do it.
And it's not going to change next week.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the offense is definitely going to have to put up some points. The defense is going to have to do what they can do to keep things in check. And I think the biggest thing, and we've already kind of talked about it, so we can hit and miss this one quickly. But I think it's going to be the X's and O's. I think Ben is going to have to control himself and actually coach a smart game. In times where we need to take that 3 points, we need to take those 3 points. Because oftentimes when we lose, those 3 points that we passed up on are the ones that come back to bite us. And so, if it comes down to a point where, do we go for it on 4th and 4 on the 20, or do we just kick the field goal and get the points? We got to take the points 9 times out of 10. We got to get the playmakers involved, and the coaching just got to we've got to call a good game this week.
And those 3 points that you talk about, Marcus, I think it's so much more than that. Maybe overly, I get into the psychology of both the game and the players in the game. When you go for it on 4th down and don't make it, you got to believe that there's a certain percentage of the team that's saying, man, we shouldn't have gone for that. Now,
Yeah.
there's a certain percentage of the team saying we should go for it every time. But there's a certain percentage that said that wasn't a smart play. That affects the psychology and the chemistry in the team. So that's one thing. The second thing is that when you do that and you don't make it, you put the other team in a position where either one or 2 things, that they score or that they put you in such bad field position on the next possession that you're behind the 8 ball. So I agree with you, man. There are times to go for it on 4th down, but there are times not to.
Marlo, you quiet.
I just feel like, you can't call the game in a vacuum. Every game is a living, breathing story to me. And, every decision that's being made is going to be different than the one that was made before. And sometimes it's going to be better to punt or to go for the field goal. And sometimes I feel like you're going to have to go for it. I think I've probably been with Ben on about 80% of his decisions to go or not. The play call, though, when he decides to go or not, I've probably only been with him about 25% of the time. Dude, how is that the play you go with? So, yeah, and especially like I said to start the show, my boy is going to put him on the table this week. Like, you got to know that. You have
Balls
to
to the
know.
wall, baby.
Yeah, he putting them on the table, man. I think if we lose this game because of a punt or a field goal when he thought that we probably should have gone for it, he wouldn't be able to sleep. I think that he would feel much better. Hey, I went for it and we ain't make it and we lost. And I can look in the mirror and I can sleep with that. As opposed to I kicked the field goal and we lost by 4. You know what I'm saying? Or we lost by 1 because we needed the touchdown as opposed to the field goal. I think that he would have a hard time sleeping at night if that was the scenario Saturday night.
Well, I think I heard.
I think one thing, Marcus, that Ben has got to understand is that there is a history of conversion percentages around the NFL on 4th down. I'm looking and I see that the Chicago Bears conversion percentage is about 51%. And that's game after game after game, that it's 51%. So that means if you do it twice, you're going to make it once and you're not going to make it once. He's got to know that. He's got to believe that. He believes he's going to make it every time. And the percentages, not just for the Bears, but pretty much around the league with a few exceptions, tell you that that is not true. So if I tell you, Marcus, if you cross the street twice, one time you're going to get hit by a car, how would you handle the proposition of should I cross the street or not? You would be very careful about it. You may do it twice and not get hit. You may do it twice and get hit both times.
Both times.
But the average says that if you do it twice, you're going to get hit one time. So I'm not so much against Ben going for it on 4th down. I am against him going for it as a mindset to say, this is how I play the game, because I think it's a losing proposition at least half of the time.
I think I heard one of the commentators say that was a bad decision even on Madden. So, I mean, we can't have people saying that about our head coach, man. So, I get it. When you look around the league now, there's a lot of teams that are going for it a lot of time. And I think I said it before, it's kind of like the evolution of the 3-point shot in basketball. Back in the days where I loved basketball back in the 90s, the centers looked like bodybuilders and they all looked like prize fighters and they was down in the middle, banging and fighting and doing that thing. And now, people, Kevin Durant is a prototypical basketball player now, just tall, lanky, shooting threes. And it's just, it's changed. And I think the game of football is starting that evolution to where these special teams aren't producing like the Devin Hesters and different people back in the day. And so I think they're looking at special teams as like just throwaway plays. These are lost plays and they're really not doing anything for us. And I think a lot of teams are going for it. And I think we just gonna have to get used to it.
Well, the silent monkey in the room is we've gone for it on 4th down and we've made it 51% of the time. Maybe the real problem is 3rd down, where we've only made 42% of our 3rd down conversion.
But now, wait a minute, Pop. Look at that compared to the rest of the league if you can. Because if I remember correctly, I think we're like 1st or 2nd in the league in 3rd down conversion.
Let's see. We're at 42%. The Packers are at 49. The Steelers are at 40. The 49ers are at 49%. The Colts are at 42%. The Bills, 44%. Broncos, 41%. The Pats, 43%. The Chargers, 46%. So,
And we were 41.
And we are at 42.
So I'm looking at it. We were number 7 in the league in 3rd down conversions.
Man, that's not bad, man. That's not. And Marcus, if you can, where were we on 4th down conversions as far as the whole league is concerned?
Let me tell you. So we made it 51% of the time. The Packers made it 56, Lions 58, Commanders 61, Eagles 52, Steelers 52, Rams 67, 49ers 60, Colts 67, the Bills 60, the Patriots 72, the
So
Chiefs
yeah,
75.
and I think that goes to I think it plays into both of our points. Mine, you gotta go because you don't go for it against the Patriots, and they gonna go for it and they gonna smoke you. But
And
to you and your point, we aren't the team that's converting those fourth downs.
and I would have to agree with Pop because we were number 21 in the league in fourth down conversions.
21.
Number 21. So we were definitely on the bottom of that totem pole of making it. We were getting it at a 51% clip. Where Kansas City at number one got a fourth down conversion on 75% of their tries. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do on that front, but I don't think that you say the defense ain't gonna change. I don't think that fourth down conversion is gonna change by Saturday. So hey, I just need these coaches to call a good game. I need the offense and the defense to play a good game. And then I need this from y'all. Let's just go ahead and get into these wild card predictions. But first, let's hear from our sponsor.
Got a song idea? An album vision? M2 Media Group does it all. We write the lyrics, compose the music, any genre you dream. We provide the musicians, the singers, the full production. From your first note to the final mix, we bring your vision to life. M2 Media Group, your sound, our passion. Call us today.
We back, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into this wild card action. There's no dancing around it. We're about to lock it in right now. So let's go with you, Pop. What you got going on in this whole wild card situation?
So I'm going to just give you the teams without a lot of commentary. I'm taking the Rams. I'm going with Green Bay over the Bears. And man, it hurts for that to even come out of my mouth. But I think I would not be surprised if all of the negative things that I'm saying that the Bears are dealing with, if it all catches up with them this week.
Hey, y'all, before you keep going, Pop, y'all seen that Charles Schwab commercial where he's like, we've got technical difficulties. And they point at the commercial like, dude, they're looking at you. I was about to do that to Pop, like, something's wrong with this camera. But they looking. So go ahead, Pop. I'm sorry.
I'm taking the Steelers because I believe that Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin have enough to get it done. I'm taking the Patriots. I think this game is an upset, but I'm going to take the Eagles. My guess is they're not going to be favored. Could be wrong about that, but I don't see that happening. And I'm going to take the Bills.
All right, and before I give y'all my picks, I'll give you Jason's picks. He's going with the Rams, the Bears. He's going with the Bills, the Eagles, the Patriots, and the Texans. And for me, I'm also going to take the Rams. I'm gonna go with the Bills. I think Josh Allen is playing some good football, and I think the Bills will go pull that out. I'm gonna go with the Niners. I'm gonna take the Chargers. I'm gonna actually can't believe I'm actually throwing up a little bit in my mouth as I say it. But I'm gonna take Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. I think the old man got a little bit more left in the tank to win at least one more game. So I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, and then of course, I'm taking my Bears to go ahead and beat these Green Bay Packers in the rubber match game for this week. Marlo, take it away.
Man, so in the AFC, I'm going with the Pats. I feel like the Patriots are playing really good football. Like I said earlier, man, I like what they got going on. And I really think that they're going to take care of business. I like Houston going into Pittsburgh and getting the job done there. I really think that C.J. Stroud has proven that, he's a solid quarterback in this league. And DeMeco Ryans, man, has shown that whatever was going on in New England with him, it was a fluke, man. And he's got them boys rolling. Now, I'm sorry, DeMeco Ryans is not Gerard Mayo. I do apologize.
More push-up.
My bad. Yeah.
Rewind that.
Let's get to those technical difficulties right now. But yeah, so I like Houston over Pittsburgh, and then I'm taking Jacksonville over Buffalo, man. I like the story they got going on down there. The coach got off to a rough start in his introductory press conference, but I think they've won like 10 out of their last 11 games. Got a field goal kicker making 67-yard field goals, man. I like them. And then on the NFC side, I'm taking the Rams over the Panthers. I think that should be a blowout. Weather should be perfect in Charlotte. LA shouldn't have any concerns there. I think they'll kill them. And in the best game of the weekend, I think San Francisco goes into Philly and takes the upset. And then that takes to Soldier Field. And I got the Bears pulling it out, man. I feel like
Let's go.
I think the urgency of the moment is known, and I feel like that Ben is going to have these boys. I hope that Ben is going to have these boys ready to go. And I think that with the crowd, the home field advantage, our offense, I think that we're going to get it done. And so I'm taking the Bears over the Packers, as always.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, all year we have had this ongoing contest of picking 4 games a week and calculating the points. I would just like you, Marcus, to announce who won that competition.
You know, I meant to say that at the beginning of this segment, but somehow I conveniently forgot. But Pop was the number 1 seed. He did win the regular season. So I give it up to Pop. He did his thing. But you know what? This is a brand new season, not just for the NFL, but for us too. It's the postseason, baby. So we starting all over again. So we gonna get this thing going. And Marlo, I also heard that Ben Johnson brought several chalkboards into the locker room and had everybody write good, better, best 100 times every day this week. So I think they are gonna be ready, and it's about to go down. So look, y'all, Wildcard Weekend doesn't care about your regular season resume. It only cares about who's ready right now. And for the first time in a long time, the Bears are not just in the room. They are showing that they belong. So look, the bench warmers, we are out of here. Bench mob, y'all get ready. Saturday, it's about to go down. And I'm going to say it like I always do. Go Bears, bear down. And Marlo, what you say?
FGB.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all, we out of here.
Always.
Adios.
Yeah.